Something unprecedented is unfolding across America right now. And what you're about to discover in the next 15 minutes could change how you prepare for the month ahead. It's December 31st, 2025, day 365 of the year, and the atmosphere is doing something it rarely does. Something that has weather scientists calling this a historic pattern shift. Here's what nobody is telling you. Within 72 hours, temperatures across the heartland will spike 25 degrees above normal. That's not a typo. 25 degrees. But before that happens, tonight is going to test every family east of the Rockies. And I need you to stay with me, because at the 30-second mark, I'm revealing the 3 counties that will see the most dangerous conditions in the next 6 hours. Lives depend on this information. Right now, as you're watching this, a razor-sharp cold front is slicing through the Midwest. Chicago is about to experience what meteorologists are calling a 5-minute blizzard. 5 minutes, that's all it takes. But in those 5 minutes, visibility will drop to 0. Highways will become ice rinks, and as our faith teaches us, sometimes the greatest trials come in the shortest moments. Here's your first critical checkpoint. If you're anywhere from Cleveland to Pittsburgh, from Columbus to Charleston, you have exactly 3 hours before this hits. 3 hours to get your loved ones home, 3 hours to stock your pantry, 3 hours to charge your devices. The National Weather Service just issued urgent bulletins for 8 states. 8. That's affecting 63 million Americans tonight. 63 million souls who need to know what's coming. But here's where it gets stranger. And I promise you, at the 5-minute mark, I'll show you exactly why January is about to become the most active weather month in a decade. Lake Erie is about to become a snow factory. The water temperature is still 39 degrees. The air temperature tonight? 0. That's a 39-degree difference. When you have that kind of temperature contrast over water, the atmosphere doesn't just make snow, it manufactures it. Like a divine hand reaching down and painting the landscape white. Western New York, you're looking at 23 inches by Saturday morning. 23 inches. That's on top of what you already have. Some of you will wake up Saturday and not be able to see your car. Your mailbox will be a memory under a white blanket. South of Buffalo, 14 inches coming. West of Toronto, 13 inches. Northern Michigan, 8 more inches. And up in the UP of Michigan, over a foot. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. Why is this happening on New Year's Eve? Why tonight? As we close out one year and prepare for another, nature itself is reminding us of something profound. That we are not in control. That there are forces greater than us. And that preparation isn't just wise, it's biblical. Remember the parable of the wise man who built his house on rock? That's what we're doing right now, building your preparation on solid information. Here's what's happening in real time. At 5 p.m. Central Time, a squall line forms near Chicago. Sharp as a knife blade, it races eastward at 40 miles per hour. By midnight, it's clearing the Great Lakes. By 4 a.m., it's in Charleston, West Virginia. By sunrise, it phases with an Atlantic system and intensifies. But wait, here's the twist nobody saw coming. While the East freezes, the West is experiencing something biblical scholars might call a plague of water. Los Angeles just had a tornado on Christmas Day. A real tornado. In Los Angeles. And tomorrow, New Year's Day, they might get another one. Think about that. Tornadoes on Christmas and New Year's. In California, when was the last time you heard of that? The Rose Parade is going to be drenched. 2 to 4 inches of rain in areas that just got hit on Christmas. Soils are saturated, burn scars are vulnerable, evacuation orders are already in effect. And here's a statistic that should make you pause. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a marginal risk for severe weather in LA on New Year's Day. That includes rotation and thunderstorms. Rotation means potential tornadoes. For our brothers and sisters in Southern California, this is your test. Your trial. But remember, we are never given more than we can handle. Though the storms rage, though the waters rise, faith is your anchor. Now, we're at the 5-minute mark, and I made you a promise. Here's why January is about to explode with activity. Pull up any weather model right now. Any of them. The GFS, the European, the Canadian, they all show the same thing. After January 8th, it's like someone turned on a storm machine. Look at this progression. January 9th, a system develops over Texas. January 11th, a nor'easter spins up off the coast. January 14th, a massive low-pressure system digs into the plains. January 17th, another one. January 20th, another one. It's relentless. System after system after system. Why? Here's the science, and it's fascinating. We're entering what's called a pattern flip. Right now, there's a ridge building over the central U.S. That ridge is going to pump temperatures 15 to 25 degrees above average from Texas to Nebraska, from Salt Lake City to Nashville. But that warmth doesn't come free. When you have warmth battling cold, when you have the Gulf pumping moisture north and Arctic air diving south, you get conflict. And conflict in the atmosphere means storms. Some of you will see historic snowfalls. Some of you will see severe weather outbreaks. Some of you will see ice storms that knock out power for days. The CPC, the Climate Prediction Center, is already showing above-average precipitation for most of the eastern two-thirds of the country for the 6 to 10-day period. Above average. That's government speak for a lot. Now, here's where your faith becomes practical. In the book of Proverbs, we're told that a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. That's not fear, that's wisdom. So let me give you your action plan, step by step. Write this down. Step 1. If you're in the snow zone tonight, Ohio Valley, Western New York, Pennsylvania, do not travel after 6 p.m. unless absolutely necessary. The snow squalls will be that intense, visibility near zero. Whiteout conditions, this is a 5 to 10 minute event in most places, but it's dangerous. Step 2. Tomorrow morning, temperatures plunge. Milwaukee, 0 degrees. Minneapolis, 0 or below. Northern Minnesota, -5, with wind chill, -20. If you have elderly relatives, check on them. If you have pets outside, bring them in. Frozen pipes are a real concern below 10 degrees. Step 3. For those in Los Angeles and Southern California, secure outdoor furniture today. The winds tomorrow will gust to 50 miles per hour in some areas. 50, that's enough to turn a patio chair into a projectile. Step 4. Stock up now for January. Not panic buying, prudent preparation. Because when those storm systems start rolling through after January 8th, you don't want to be making emergency runs to the grocery store. Here's another number that matters. Ready? After January 5th, the snowpack we're building up this week across the Great Lakes will start melting. Melting. That warm-up I mentioned earlier kicks in. And when you melt a foot of snow quickly, where does that water go? Into rivers, into storm drains, into basements. Flood risk increases mid-January. Mark it on your calendar. Now, you might be wondering, how can it be warm enough to melt snow but cold enough for ice storms? Great question. And this is where January gets tricky. When you have warm air overriding cold air at the surface, precipitation falls as rain through the warm layer, then freezes when it hits the cold ground. That's freezing rain. That's ice. And ice storms are more destructive than snowstorms. A 1/4 inch of ice can snap tree branches. A 1/2 inch can bring down power lines. 3/4 of an inch can collapse structures. And some of the models are showing potential for 1/2 inch ice accumulations in parts of the Midwest and Ohio Valley around January 10th through 12th. 1/2 inch ice. That's catastrophic for rural areas. The best part of this whole pattern, I saved it for minute 12. Here it is. Despite all this activity, despite all these storms, there's going to be windows, beautiful windows of calm, days where the sun shines, temperatures are mild, and you can get outside. The warm-up starting January 5th gives us that. 3 to 4 days of incredible weather for most of the country. Enjoy it. Because it's the calm between storms. And isn't that how life works? We go through trials, but God provides rest. We face storms, but He gives us sunshine. The key is recognizing both, being grateful for the good days and prepared for the challenging ones. Here's something else to consider. This pattern, this volatility we're seeing, It's actually not that unusual historically. If you go back to January 1978, January 1996, January 2011, you see similar setups, big pattern flips, warmth battling cold, storm after storm. The difference now, we have better forecasting. We have 7 to 10 days of reliable data. We can see these systems coming. Our grandparents didn't have that luxury. They relied on almanacs and intuition and prayer. We have science and faith working together. So, as we close out 2025 and step into 2026, here's my encouragement to you. Weather is just one part of life. Yes, it's dramatic right now. Yes, it requires attention. But don't let it steal your peace. Prepare wisely. Check on neighbors, especially elderly neighbors who might not have family nearby. That's what community is about. That's what fellowship means. If you're traveling tonight for New Year's celebrations, please check conditions every hour. Things are changing fast. A road that's clear at 6 p.m. might be impassable at 8 p.m. If you're staying home, enjoy it. Sometimes the best celebrations are the quiet ones. A warm home, a full pantry, family gathered around the table, that's abundance. For our viewers in California dealing with rain and wind, remember, this too shall pass. The storms always pass. The sun always returns. And you're tougher than you think. One final number before we close. January typically sees an average of 12 named storm systems cross the U.S. This January, models are hinting at 18 to 20 systems in 31 days. That's active. That's busy. That's going to keep us on our toes. But here's the thing I want you to remember most, and this is your teaser for the next update in 2 days. Around January 15th, something really interesting develops in the long-range models, something that could set up the most significant winter storm of the season for the eastern seaboard. It's too early to say exactly where or when or how big, but the ingredients are coming together, and I'll have a full breakdown for you on January 2nd. Until then, stay warm tonight, stay safe, and remember, we're all in this together. One nation, under God, facing whatever weather comes our way with courage and preparation. The strange turn this storm track took? It's just beginning. January is going to be a month to remember. God bless you all. And Happy New Year!